Hello, Western New York. And what you are looking at is my dirt and compost. You know, as I've mentioned, I got over 600 pounds worth of this stuff easily. So why am I talking about this? Well, let's talk about where you can get it. I mean, as I've mentioned, I got my supply from a couple of stores, you know. The four down at the bottom here. This one, the one above it, and the other two whitish ones I got from a gardening store, you know. These four, well, mind you, they had a whole lot more, you know, different things I could have gotten. But these two, there was 15 bucks a bag, you know, plus tax, you know. And, well, they hadn't been doing so good, so we were selling them, so it's like, they reduced the price of 50%, so, you know, buy them dirt cheap. You know, I mean, they're like, well, these are 1.5 cubic feet a piece, you know, and so, you know, think about it, you know, you buy some of that. I mean, it's a little expensive, but you can't complain too much, you know. The place always dealt good by me, you know. Plus, these things are about solid ice, practically. So this is just ordinary garden soil. And, well, these particular bags, they sold for less than $3 a piece, so, you know, I got 18 of them for, you know, well under 50 bucks, you know, because, and as for these ones, I got these ones, well, these ones right here. I got these from the local Home Depot. A little shout out to them. And they provide, and well, I was able to, they were selling these things for real cheap because, well, this is the time of year where they want to get their new stock, you know, and as you can see, got a nice selection, good price. These ones right here, I got these from the local Tractor Supply. Grandma gave me a Christmas card for 30 bucks, you know, and these are on their clearance shelves, so, you know, bought some, you know, it was like 45 bucks worth, got it for $15. As it is, I hope to get another 500 or so pounds worth of compost by around mid-April. Reason is, I go to a horseback riding facility, you know, for therapeutic purposes. If you've never ridden a horse, you have to ride a horse. I mean, just once, if only to say that you lived out that that little fantasy of being able to be that cowboy for a little bit. And well, anyways, this place, well, if you own a farm and raise animals, you know very well they make messes, you know, the kind that requires the old pooper scooper or a shovel and a pitchfork. Well, anyways, this particular horseback riding facility I go to, Centaur Strides, which is just outside of Sherman. In case you're interested in going there, it's $30 for a 1-hour lesson. Although they do have a nice little option where you pay 120 bucks for 6 riding lessons. Mind you, that's 6 weeks worth of riding lessons. It's a very nice place. Maybe someday I'll show footage of the place. Although I believe that would require me getting written permission from them. But, you know, basically what they do is they gather up the horse manure as well as the bedding, which is a mixture of straw and wood shavings, and they put them in a pile, and then they wait about a year or so, and then they sell what's in that pile, which is by that time nice good dirt. You know, they sell like a, well, they sell like a 30-pound bag for about $2 to $3, you know. And I'm hoping to get like I said, about 500 or so pounds worth of stuff for about $60. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, you do. I mean, this is a horseback riding facility. They help out people who have disabilities. I mean, if you've ever been to a place like this, and you watch the riders, I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, you got these people who normally can't do anything, and then you watch the smiles on their faces, and it's like it's those little moments, you know, little moments. Of course, I don't have to just go to a horseback riding facility. Now, if I really wanted to, let's see if I got this good shut. There's one door or another that needs working around this place. Well, like I mentioned, I got farmers all around me, and I could probably make a deal with some of them, you know, for there's a farm down here. There's like a small little petting zoo, or at least there used to be a petting zoo. There's a farm over on the other side, and there's my uncle. There's probably a few others I could probably talk to and to, shall we say, supplying me with a nice load of, shall we say, manure. Even got a little spot picked out for where I can put said manure. That. You know, so that way it can age a little. You know, just put it down in here, you know. That way it's not in the yard, for one thing. And two, it can age and get better. Now, of course, what you yourself could do, you know, I could probably, you know, make out a deal, maybe do a little bit of labor for them, that sort of thing. Just lovely out, you know, it's just lovely. I mean, maybe a couple snowflakes, you know, here and there. Like I said, I could make a deal with these farmers, you know, do some work. Or maybe they'd just be willing to give it to me, who knows. You never know until you ask. Of course, if you're not up to going to work on a farm, or perhaps you don't like going to the big, I mean, where else can you get it? Well, you could, like I mentioned, the horseback riding facilities and the farms in general, maybe they just have compost that they are willing to sell, which is always good. Can't wait till the snow's gone, because that's when my uncle will hopefully get rid of this fence. So I can maybe had a little chat with him about getting rid of the stuff that's laying around on the ground. You know, who knows, might get that turned into some sort of compost, some sort of mulch. You know, and well, like I said, you can You could probably buy it from these places. Or you can go to your big box store, you know, like Walmart, Home Depot, Tractor Supply, Lowe's, or any place else. And you can probably buy it from them. You know, that's one method. You know, if you got the money. But what if you want to help out in someplace? Well, could try the zoo. I've learned that some zoos sell the equivalent of zoo-doo. Which is kind of funny when you think about it, you know. But basically, well, think about it. You got elephants, you got hippos, you got rhinos, you got zebras. And, well, like I've mentioned, if you deal with big animals, think about it. They gotta go someplace. And somebody has to clean up that mess. And, well, you got people who... Well, some of these zoos, what they do is they collect it and they will put it in a compost pile, which is kind of neat when you think about it. You know? And then, like, a couple of months later, they got a dog or two barking, probably the neighbors. Probably had some car going by. Well, you know, they turn it into good compost, which you yourself could buy. So, if you live next to a zoo, or maybe a circus, you know, and you think about it, I don't know there's going to be too many of those around anymore, you know, but think about it, you know. They might do compost, they might sell, and you might be able to buy it from them and at the same time support your favorite local zoo, you know. Think about it. It's getting a little cold even with these gloves on. And I see a tree I'm going to need to do a little bit of pruning on. Now there's always that tree that needs almost stumbled down a hole. That would have been annoying. You know? Could have twisted my ankle or something. I apologize for any swearing, but I'm certain you can understand that. Well, I know this much. I got some goat and I got some pig in here, you know. Well, pig definitely over there, and goat in here. Probably decomposed a little bit by now. I know there was plenty of... I know my one tenant who owned the goats would put the goat bedding and whatnot over in this area along the embankment, because, well, you gotta put it someplace, you know. You gotta put it someplace. You know, and you wait a year or so, and it decomposes into the good soil that you can use. And of course, you can make your own compost. You know, you can make it out of yard scraps. You know, grass, leaves. Pieces of trees that have gone through the wood chipper. And of course, kitchen scraps, mainly the vegetable stuff. You want to use mainly vegetable stuff. Papers, you know, newspapers, junk mail, that sort of stuff. You know? And of course, if you don't want to put all that in the yard, which could lead to a couple of issues, you can put those in totes, you know, and make like a worm bin, you know. And where do you get worms? Well, you could probably buy them from the local fishing store, you know. Buy a pack of night crawlers or red wigglers or your local equivalents, you know, and they do their business, and you can end up with your compost that way, you know. And I mean, Truth be told, I don't really bother too much with soil ones, but it does have its uses, like when you tip rooting and you find yourself short on aged goat manure. So, I just wonder what I'm going to do with this woodchuck hole. Say nothing about another one that's right at the base of this chokecherry tree, but I got an idea or two that involves getting some bales of hay and stuffing them right down there. I don't think there's any woodchucks in here because, one, I'm certain my stepfather has, shall we say, taking care of them all with a .22 rifle. You know, might be a rabbit or two running around, but as you can see, there's no tracks, so, but there is a big old tunnel under here, so you know, you want that nice and, you want that filled in. You know, so, who knows, I might just stuff a bunch of bales of hay down in there, you know. Or if I can get real inventive, stick a hole and put down a whole lot of liquid manure. Now, while we're on the concept of topic of fertilizer, you more or less want organic fertilizer as opposed to synthetic fertilizer. A good way to compare that, describe it, is like comparing your a candy bar, you know, to apples, you know. Candy bars got sugar, which acts real quick, only it does not fill you up, you know. Whereas an apple, yeah, you got your sugar, but you can eat a bunch of apples and then you're good and full, you know, good and full. You know, and you're full for a good long time, for a good while anyways. And that's the basic idea behind it. Well, your synthetic fertilizer, it'll do good quick for a short time, do good quick. Organic takes a little bit, but it works good over the long haul. So, basically, it kind of depends on what you want. If you want your crops to grow quickly now, then you can put in synthetic stuff. But if you wanted to grow good over time, put in the organic stuff. Or you could probably do a mix, you know. Well, I better get going. It's getting cold out, and at the moment, it's a little cold out here. Well, see you guys later. Bye. This is Western New York. So if you like this, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends. Boy, it's beautiful out here. Well, goodbye.